Every business coach and YouTube guru tells you the same thing. Your business needs a YouTube channel going into 2026 in order to survive. And they're right about one thing. You do need a YouTube channel. But here's what nobody tells camera shy, insecure entrepreneurs. The conventional wisdom is simple. You just need to simply pick your niche, be confident on camera, post consistently, and views and clients will follow. Most entrepreneurs believe that if they follow the standard YouTube success formula, then their business will just explode out of nowhere, right? I'm about to show you why the advice is not just wrong for people like us. It's actually going to destroy your business if you do things wrong. 3 years ago, I was following that exact kind of advice where I had a coach and I was getting all this free wisdom from the internet. I was searching everywhere, doing so much different kind of research as far as YouTube, marketing, social media, and everything else. And I ended up getting to a place of just being so overwhelmed that I didn't even know what to do. So when I finally did decide to invest in my business and get a coach, I was basically led down the traditional YouTube way of doing things, which works for most people who want to go viral or want to have a presence online. But what I didn't realize is that it wasn't helping me to grow a business at all. It was getting me a lot of attention, but it wasn't the right kind of attention. I went viral with millions of views, but my sales were completely drying up. I eventually ended up deleting everything and just starting over because it was too overwhelming. And that's when Lion Strength was created. And now I help camera shy, introverted entrepreneurs use the Lion Strength YouTube system to turn them into the go-to authority in their industry, ultimately becoming an industry celebrity and being very well known for what it is that they do. This also opens up lots of opportunities to them that would normally never have those opportunities hiding behind a camera. I'm Jared Mallon, founder of Lion Strength, and I'll be breaking down my exact 5-step system that will turn your unique personality into your biggest asset. You see, the crazy thing is that most entrepreneurs just copy one another when it comes to YouTube. One person is doing something that seems to be working for them, and then another one comes and copies them. And a lot of times this can work. There are a lot of things that we learned that are basically the standards of YouTube and the standards of marketing. But a lot of times, let's be honest, we just end up posting a lot of random helpful content, but in reality, we don't know how it connects with our audience. And we just hope that something will stick. But here's what I've discovered instead. I like to think of the Lion Strength system as a presentation. It's something that is public and bingeable, and you can actually connect with your ideal audience. Here's how it works. I have 3 steps in this system. It's create, converse, and connect. And this is how people essentially discover you. You can literally go through your entire sales process in one sitting if you do this the correct way. This leads perfectly into the next breakthrough. It's all about taking the time to create the content that you know will converse with your ideal audience and essentially connect with them. There's no point in creating something that your ideal audience doesn't even have an interest in, or they don't have a need to be watching. But this system only works if you understand this next psychological principle. And this is what most typical coaches get completely backwards. Creating your first video can feel extremely overwhelming, especially when you're afraid of the camera and don't know where to start. This was honestly, to this day, probably one of my biggest challenges, was just getting in front of the camera and being able to talk naturally. I was so scared. I had never really done it before. Every time I sat down to film a new video, I couldn't even speak. And I didn't even really have a concept of what I was supposed to do. I just sat there staring into the lens and I didn't know what to say. I didn't even know what my ideal audience wanted to hear. And I know that you are probably at that point right now too, where you're wondering, what do I say? But that's okay, because that is why I created my 5 content mistakes that are killing your growth and how to fix them. This is a guide that I created that will walk you through all of the most common mistakes that entrepreneurs first make when starting on YouTube. And the best part is that it tells you how to fix them. So if you haven't even ever filmed a video before, this is a great step ahead of the game so you can actually see what you should be doing before you ever even press record. It's my gift to you, and you can find the link in the description or the show notes below. With that being said, let's continue. So every YouTube coach usually tells you to just be confident, right? Like it's so easy to just get that confidence from within and get on the camera and be like everybody else. But here's the brutal truth. I learned the hard way. I built a following up to 100,000 subs in just 90 days. And then I had 360,000 in about half a year. Even having done that, I learned that this wasn't the best way to grow a business. Getting views is not everything. Getting subscribers and followers is not everything. There is so much more to growing a business on the back end of YouTube that a lot of people don't tell you about. That's why I believe one of the best ways to gain trust with your ideal clients is by starting a channel that focuses on long form content. I do all long form content on this channel, and then I have my Instagram account where I do all of my short form. I don't mix long form and short form on the same channel because I don't want to have that mix of two different audiences. A lot of times people who are interested in watching short form content are basically in sort of a brain fog where they're just scrolling and they just want to see more entertainment type of videos. Whereas long form, people want to really sit down and spend that time with you. So how can your unique personality actually be your superpower going into YouTube? It actually directly connects to how you should be creating your content. But knowing that you don't have to be like everyone else on YouTube is only half the battle. The other half is knowing exactly who to create this content for. And that's where we go into the niche. And what I have come to learn about niches, because this is another very controversial topic. A lot of people will tell you it doesn't matter, you don't have to have a niche. You just need to be the niche. But let me tell you something. It's very hard to become the niche if people don't even know what you're about to begin with. This works later on. Once people already know what niche you're in, later when people get to know you more and you have a thriving community and a thriving audience, then you can start to show people parts of your unique personality. But starting off, you need to make sure that your audience knows that you're speaking to them. They need to know that they belong to your tribe. Most people think you niche down by topic, but that's why they stay stuck as the best kept secrets in their industry, because a lot of people don't know how to find them. You don't simply niche down by what you do. You niche down by the transformation that you provide. One of the greatest examples of this is somebody who is a weight loss coach. They're not selling weight loss products. They're selling the transformation. They're selling the beach ready body, not the 6-week program that they have to offer. Your ideal client wants to hear what transformation you can provide for them, and that's how you're going to see results in your industry. This changes everything about your content strategy. Because you're not just creating content to post into the void, but you're creating content that is actually going to motivate the people that you are trying to reach in your ideal audience. And this is what sets you up for the next crucial principle. Because even with the right niche, most entrepreneurs will make this fatal mistake with their content. If you're struggling to identify your unique transformation, this is why I focus so much on personal branding. Personal branding is the way to win going into 2026. I'm telling you, personal branding has helped me more than you can imagine because this is a way of holding yourself accountable to your ideals and your beliefs. And this will help your ideal clients to see who you really are and what transformation you provide. And they actually get to see you doing things the messy way. You're not just perfect right out the gate. You have to work and show them the work that you're doing. Show them how hard that you're trying to get them a transformation. Show them how hard you're working to do everything that you do, catering to them. Everyone wants to obsess over views and subscribers, but vanity metrics will kill business application. The only metric that really matters in sales is how to track what is actually building your business. And I believe that is leads and conversions. If you're not even getting leads and don't even have conversions, then what does it matter? You could have all the views and all the subscribers, followers in the world. It doesn't matter. If your content is not converting, you have nothing. You don't even have a business at that point. This is the mindset shift that separates true entrepreneurs from simple everyday content creators. Honestly, anyone with a camera can be a content creator these days. As a matter of fact, you don't even need a camera. You could have a phone and be a content creator. This leads us to our final breakthrough. But knowing what to track doesn't mean anything if you don't understand this about your audience. It's that beginners don't buy usually. Most coaches tell you to help beginners. They're easier to reach and have the biggest problems. This might be true in many senses, but this is a backwards application. Beginners don't buy, they consume. Your ideal client has already tried to solve this problem. Here's who you should actually be targeting. People who are just a couple steps behind you. Your ideal avatar is the one who is where you recently just were. And that's how you can help them the best because it's still fresh. You know exactly what they're going through and what they're feeling. And you recently solved this problem. It's not like you solved this problem 10 years ago. You recently just stepped out of that place where you were trapped for the longest time. And it's fresh in your mind to be able to help that ideal person who is currently going through that situation. This is the final piece that makes everything else work. When you combine all 5 of these principles, something amazing starts to happen. And this is where you truly see growth as an entrepreneur going on to YouTube. So let's recap what we just covered. Number 1 is that you don't need confidence going into YouTube. You just need clarity. You need to have a plan and a structure and know what to do. And the confidence will come over time. And of course, you always want to do the best that you possibly can. You may not be a natural on camera right away, but that day will come. And you don't need millions of views or subscribers or followers. You need the right types of views from people who are ready to invest in what you have to offer. You don't need to change who you are. You just need to strategically use who you already are, the person that God created you to be, and let people love you for who you are. You already are authority positioning. This is how you go from a camera-shy entrepreneur, being introverted and scared and worried about your content, to becoming the go-to authority in your industry. It's not by faking your confidence, but by leveraging your authenticity. That is what people want to see. They want to see you for who you really truly are. And they want to get to know you. They want to know your personality. They don't want another fake person that's just sitting in front of the camera pretending to be someone that they're not. Neither do you have to chase vanity metrics, but simply just track what is actually building your business. If you're tired of being the best kept secret in your industry and you're ready to turn your unique personality into your biggest business asset, don't forget to check out my guide, The 5 Content Mistakes Killing Your Growth and How to Fix Them. The link is down below. If you want to learn more about how to grow and scale your business on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned every Wednesday for a new video. Stay blessed.